What's up, guys? I think it's recording, and I'm also not sure if you can hear me, so I'm going to take my helmet off here. Is it recording? Yeah, it's recording. Sweet. Last time I tried to do this, it was set on the photo mode, so it just took like 100 photos. I didn't realize it because I didn't have my helmet off, and I was driving to Mankato. But this is my new bike, and also big news. I also live back in Minnesota now. I moved from Illinois back to Minnesota a couple weeks ago, or actually almost 2 months ago now. But yep, I came back and I ended up buying this because I found it dirt cheap. Basically built as a stunt bike, which is what I was planning on building anyway. So I mean, I got this dirt cheap with all the shit already on it, so I'm cool with it. I've had a couple issues, mainly with the wiring, because there was a lot of some of this wiring in here was kind of fucked up, and it was blowing my starter fuse because there was a power wire grounded out on the frame. But I ended up fixing that. I kind of cleaned up some of the wires. I put this light cube on there, so it's just like a $20 fucking 1100 lumen light cube from Walmart. And then I built that bracket. I don't know, it's gonna be hard to see, but built that bracket, painted it at work. It's got I don't even know what kind of fucking cage this is, what came with it, but it's a cage. I'll be getting a new one fairly soon, I think within the next month. But yes, my cluster is mounted down on the cage. I do want to relocate that at some point. And then it's got some custom built sub cage from the guy that I bought it from, one of his old friends who was part of a stunt group here in Minneapolis. They built those back in the day. I still build them now, but still. Got whatever fucking exhaust this is. I know it came with the stock one, it came with this one, so I put this one on there because it sounds a lot better. And it's kind of mounted a little sketchy, but fuck it. Yep, shitty cage. And it came with a couple back seats. I put the one with the foot hole in it. Just did these blinkers today, actually. Put the new ones in there, got them all wired up. And I need to do new clip-ons. These are just the stock clip-ons that are turned. This one's the right, this one's the left, so they sit straighter. But yeah, getting those. It came with a rear handbrake setup, but I haven't put it on yet. I'm gonna switch it to a big rotor in the back because it's still got the stock rotor on the back. And before I do a handbrake kit, I want to swap it to a big rotor, 310. It also came with a 56 tooth sprocket. That's a stock sprocket. Came with a 56 tooth that I'm putting on. I'm getting put on next Monday. I would do it myself, but I don't have the tools to do the whatever they're fucking called, those rivet chains. I don't have the tool for that, so I'm just going to having my buddy do it because he works at a motorcycle shop. So yeah, just it's basically what it is. Got a dented tank. They bonded it so it's smoother, but I don't really care for the Bondo because it cracks like this. It kind of looks a little shitty, so I'm basically at some point, probably this winter, honestly, I'm not super worried about it right now, but this whole tank's coming off and it's getting painted, sanding down the Bondo, putting a HT Moto traction pad with 1-inch kick on there. And then it came with an extra tank, which there's a guy here in Minnesota, about actually 30 minutes south of me, I think, who I'm having build me, or who I'm actually going riding with tomorrow, but he builds custom tanks, so I'm gonna take that other tank and have him build me one. But yeah, let's go for a ride. I've had this thing for 3 weeks, I think. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and haven't had anything too bad, like people cutting me off and shit. I've had a couple, but nothing bad. And yesterday I started learning to wheelie. Nowhere near balance point, obviously, since I've only been at it a day, but I can get the front tire up. I chased one for, well, my measurement is parking spaces. I chased one for a couple parking spaces, but like 5, which isn't great, but I mean, it's decent. And this was the first place I came to start trying to learn to wheelie, but it's real sandy, and I don't really trust it. So I ended up finding a big industrial lot yesterday when I was just kind of out cruising down the road, and just kind of came across it and spent about 2 hours there just working on it. So yeah, let's go for a ride.